between these two guys and what popped up in my WhatsApp group chat, like 5 seconds, you guys, I'm pretty sure, have told me everything that's about to go down in Game of Thrones.
Should have seen it already. Yes, it will be the third map between Envy and Luminosity. We have to go the distance to decide this one. Best of 3, they took each other's map pick as well, so this will be interesting when we head over to a map like Cash.
Cash, I mean, it's a map that's going to favor the side of Envy. Young guns, they have plenty of experience on a map like Cash. Luminosity, on the other hand, I don't know if they'll be able to bring it to this map 3, although just upsetting Envy on their map choice of Inferno, I imagine the momentum is on the Brazilian team's
You think so?
side.
All right, all right. I mean, one thing that absolutely has to happen is JDM has to have a similar game that he had on Train, because those were night and day differences from Train to Inferno. Maybe he lands, I mean, he flipped a coin. He won the first one. He lost the second one. He needs to wake up. Another player that's had some inconsistencies tonight as well is Steel. That was actually vice versa from what JDM's position was. So it's interesting how this is going to end up shaping up.
Yeah, full disclosure to chat, please no Game of Thrones spoilers for those who haven't seen it. But Luminosity now are going to see themselves going into the B bomb site here. A little bit of contention from Android, but that smoke coming to CT spawn is going to make his life difficult. The bomb should be moving in, no problem.
I can't believe you just told chat to not touch wet paint. They're going to touch wet paint.
They're going to
touch
touch
If you tell
wet
them not
paint.
to do
Yeah,
something,
that was a bad
they
idea.
will
I should have
do
told them to do it, and they would have been like, we're not going to do that.
Don't not spoil it. Please. All right, 5v5 retake as we get back to business. The smoke in front of A main. Android and company coming through the tree room in force. But look at the aggression from Steel.
Nice.
Initially, I was going
Clean.
to penalize him for it, thinking he's got a crossfire set up to Generator. Don't swing out and turn it into a couple 1v1s. But, man, he just kept plowing through him.
Yeah, Envy there in that situation. They had to smoke off that B main, but the B main smoke lands a little bit in front of that area, so they're kind of worried about that spot, and, you know, T's coming in and playing the edges of those smokes, and in the process, Steel, under that blue tarp, able to wide swing, go ahead and pick up 3 kills, very nice kills, as Luminosity move on to the first round.
Okay. And there's the good start as well I was talking about, man. It's Steel needs to have a good game himself. So look at this stack up. Envy might be able to turn the tides quickly. Steel gets, what a read on him. The nade absolutely obliterates it. It just turns him into pulp. He does die, but getting 2 kills is a blessing out there. Can they get to his AK in time? Maybe swap out the Khalil, maybe swap out the MAC-10. They do. All right. Min-maxed it. Luminosity off to a good start. Envy there coming roaring right back with some rifles.
Yeah, Luminosity now, I imagine they're going to keep this pace up, maybe slowing down just a slight tad to let those Envy nades kind of dissipate. You know there's going to be the smoke towards middle. You know there most likely will be a smoke towards A main. So I can imagine Luminosity just waiting that off initially and then bursting very quickly onto either the A site or taking mid to a highway split.
Checking out, making sure there's no CT aggression into mid. They'll smoke up here as well, and this might end up shaping up a lot like how you would anticipate Inferno to shape up too, where they just throw this utility on the first salvo, set up for a little bit of a delayed first phase. And Mecha is actually posted up. He's looking into this A site through the locker room. And if Psalm oversteps this bounds, there's the first skirmish. Mecha's on the receiving end for the most part, backs off.
A little bit of lull in the round here as Luminosity not really decided on what they want to attack into this round. We are going to see the bomb moving back towards middle, but it's actually going to avoid that spot entirely and move to A main.
Up and at 'em. Early risers are Luminosity, still pretty early on in the round. A buck on the clock as they start to make the decision to strike this A site. Your defense shaping up like Psalm at default. Nifty on top of the railing on catwalk. Up and above to try and catch Luminosity a bit off guard. But that's it as far as this A side is concerned. JDM's in highway. He can have the quick response, but they're on their way in right now. Molotov's in the back quad. Nifty gets out of the position from behind the fork truck. He's done amazing damage. 2 headshots against Lucas and Steel, but they still stand. Psalm luckily forces one to the deck that he had wounded, but that might be enough. Wow, JDM just finds himself in no man's land through that smoke on truck and ends up everybody's looking at him. Android last man standing, and this would be a disaster if Envy are only able to pull off 1 kill on this round.
I actually didn't catch that as I was switching to, I believe, Android in that situation, or maybe Psalm, but Did JDM actually pop flash through that? Did he go through that flash dry? Because that's a bold move if he went through dry.
I caught it at the last second as well, but I know at the end of the story is that he saw that he was in the center of a whole bunch of terrorists, and he did not want to be there.
Fish out of water.
Yeah, exactly. And he was chopped up real quick, unable to find a kill. They pop flash. They're actually hunting for Android. They've got a good idea where he's at. That flashbang is going to start to make Android's heartbeat rise.
Okay, and with the bomb exploding, Luminosity onto their third round very quickly here. Envy, on the other hand, they've got no money whatsoever, so I do imagine some pistols, some armor being bought up as they go on to a little bit of a save round here. Luminosity, an opportunity for them to get 4 on the board. Here's that entry from Henny now.
That looks like it was pretty dry.
Yeah, it was pretty dry.
I didn't see a flashbang. I didn't see remnants of a flashbang. No lightning, no thunder.
So in that situation, JDM just making that Hail Mary play, right? Rushing through the smoke, trying to even it up for his teammates. Unfortunately, with the lack of a flash, the Luminosity member is able to easily take him down. And that's just the A site going their way. Android, a little bit of an early peek. Bolts does some damage to him, but not really much else happening.
Yeah, we haven't seen any B action.
Ooh,
that dink,
wow.
though. Still, yeah, gotta close that door.
Wise decision.
Okay, thanks, bye. I'll see you later. I'll let the rest of the team do the magic. I believe on the other side, though, Nifty at the B site was taking a beating over there. He's knocked down to 50 HP as well. But Envy at least in the right place at the right time. They've got 3 players and more coming. Make that 2 as they're starting to become endangered species. Nice pop flash in. Henny's blind. The bomb's now been spotted as well. That should force the evacuation from the B site, but it's going to be a long road from Nifty on his flank.
I like this. Going around towards this T side of Big Garage. He's going to get actually behind Bolts, who is cleared into the B bomb site. They're actually not going to take the bomb towards B, and that's going to leave Nifty now in a precarious spot.
Split push. Bolts goes all the way through the B site, and I thought that's where, like what you're talking about, rebound back and plant to the safe site that you know that you have, but instead they just end up surrounding Envy, and there's nowhere left to run. And Nifty's last man up. He's just now arriving into A main up the stairs. He's got some potential to be able to pick up a player or two, but Steele's, it's deceptive. He's actually back there in Squeaky Halls, holding an incredibly defensive position. Only one player on the site, that's Nekez. He's the one that's going to be laying down the hammer against Nifty. 4-0 start, and this is about the time where you start seeing the receiving team that's taken a beating to turn the tide, because the economy has been able to rebound back a bit. They're going to go for a double op out here too, even convincing me further that it's time for Envy to win a round.
I'd like to see Nifty take A main control really early on here with that AWP, or even JDM getting aggressive towards the B bomb site. Let's see how they play this to start. Yeah, it does look like JDM will be going towards B. Will he get aggressive, though, is the real question. It doesn't look like it. He's just going to move into checkers. Not a bad position for him to get into either, and actually beat the checkers Molotov that should be coming in. Yeah, this is great out of JDM. I like this.
He's way aggressed. He's got a great shot against Bolts. There's nobody left out there to trade the kill either. Right now, all your Luminosity players are out in mid, and a great pop flash up there as well. Assist from Nifty as we salute him on that easy frag. And Envy so far perfect in this 5th round, which would be hopefully their first. Henny and Steele, the team has a bunch of cash, so getting kills right here is paramount. Luminosity know that they're not going to likely win this round. You need to be able to just pop off at least 3 players.
Yeah, break into that economy early on there and keep the Envy side from really building up to a lot of dollar value. And Luminosity, looking at it right now, they aren't really in the greatest positions to do so, but Henny with a nutty shot onto Sam will be the first Envy member down for the count. Oh, that's a good smoke as well. He's going to take the fight to truck with it.
Yeah, he's just going to continue to tap through this one.
Look at Steele now.
Yeah, he's been quiet in this round, and maybe it's his time to just catch JDM scoped in. JDM's looking towards the door. Steele not looking the right way. JDM catches him immediately, even if Steele was managing to look the correct direction on that swing. I don't think he would have won that one. Only one casualty. Henny, again, just needs to be able to find more, but doing more with just himself now is a tough task. JDM spotted him. His op shot misses just wide a bit, but Henny now has 2 players out in front of him. Baits the shot out and continues to push. I like this. Aggressive movement right now, but he's going to end up double peaked. Well played between those 2 up there on white box.
Yeah, only one gun being dropped, and that's Sam, who took a massive shot from Henny towards A main there. Luminosity lose their first round to Envy, and Envy able to keep 4 people alive, do get a couple of dollars in their pockets, but not really too much, as we're going to see the buy come in from them. Kits across the field, the utility being bought up as well, and their economy goes all the way back down. Luminosity an opportunity here to break into that and retake, economic control and stay in the driver's seat of this final map in a BO3 series.
That's right, and I'm really, really surprised how long Envy continue this aggressive move from JDM. Like last round, we saw him get super aggressive at B main with an AWP. That is so high risk with some moderate reward. Luckily, though, nobody was left to trade him back because he was mollied off. He couldn't retreat last round in the back of checkers. He gets that kill. If somebody else is left, he dies almost guaranteed. So they do at least pull the leash back on him a little bit, get him a little bit more conservative on this one. I think that's the right call.
Okay, and Envy in this round, very slow to start it off, not getting too aggressive towards Banana or the B bomb site as well as A main. That's going to allow Luminosity to just run their default right off the bat. We're actually going to see Henny pushed all the way up in A main like he was in the previous round. Not doing much else other than that, though. Luminosity looking like they're getting ready to actually execute on this A bomb site where we have JDM holding this tight op angled by Quad.
Well, he's alone. How long can he stand alone? He does have some help from Fugly at truck, but he's going to be smoked out of position. You can see Fugly just sprinting towards the front lines, knowing that the AWP alone at Quad isn't going to be good enough. He's been even pushed off of Molly at the fort truck. Now Fugly's alone. He's in close. There's a pop flash that came in. Everybody's blind. Excellent nades in here as well. Fugly's got the first and the second as well. He's spraying desperately into what was the third, but Som will line up two more of his own, and Bolt's his last man standing. 20 seconds left. He's got bomb, and he's starting to plant this one down, and he's not tucked into the default position, so he's able to escape off site with some confidence here.
Yeah, Som looking for a little bit of contact now. He will make it there with Bolts. Bolts looking for the fight. Nifty being able to take him down will get Envy their second round. But in that situation, I just want to talk about JDM's positioning there. By the quad with the op, yeah, he doesn't pick up any kills, but he does just the smallest play, smallest nuance within that, and that's dropping the smoke in front of him. Yeah, he does go down to the Molotov and the AK spray of steel, but that sets up Fugly in an advantageous position there to spray down two members and actually keep that sight in Envy's hands, and this is what I'm talking about. Fugly being able to pick up two kills. Yeah, he does go down eventually, but Som gets there right in the nick of time to pick up where Fugly left off and pick up two more of his own.
Probably one of the strongest smokes that I know of for the CT side, and it's a reactionary one. So you can see all the utility coming into the A site, and you can take your time. You can throw that smoke from anywhere on that site with confidence, and it hurts the T side aggression so much. It just perfectly spans the gap between the squeaky door to the default spot, and you almost have to wait it out at that point. You have to either go up on top of the box, which anybody from truck is going to destroy you from, or you wait it out and then your utility is of no use, or you try and pop flash through it. Either way, any one of those solutions is a risk.
Luminosity looking like they want to favor B bomb site right now, as does look like the smoke towards checkers is coming in. That's going to isolate that solo checkers player in Android and leave Fugly to hold this on his own.
Lots of utility dumped in. There's really not much left for Luminosity on that utility. JDM's holding the high side. He misses the shot over the top of Henny, but the Molotov starts to burn him as well. He's pushed out, nowhere left to go except even in front. It's a 5-on-3. Android still back here in checkers. He's able to get at least a piece of the prize if Envy were to come back from this, but I don't think it's really too much possible, especially not now, as Nifty is last man standing. Is there a hunt in the cards? Luminosity's money is not the best.
No.
But, you know, pulling all the money out of Envy would be great at two.
Yeah, Luminosity not actually going to hunt this here. Wisely so. They're going to save their weapons, not even worry about Nifty's op. But that could come back to bite them, as Nifty is a great opper, and bringing that into next round, he could do some serious damage to the Luminosity side. But I do like the strat out of Luminosity. It's an older meta strat that you don't really see too much anymore. You're smoking off the checkers entrance for the CT side, as well as you're smoking off checkers by the vent boost, and you're essentially isolating that one player in the site. And if the MV player who was Android was in the checkers and wanted to come through, well, he would be running into a plethora of Luminosity players waiting for him. So nice little unorthodox strat coming out from Luminosity, something that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, like you said, it's an older strat, but it checks out.
Yeah.
Just continue to make Star Wars references all day. I'm sure we'll see a trap come up here soon enough. Envy are backpedaling right now after that round. They are able to buy up rifles. There's an SMG in there scattered about. Neck is, though, thought he was going to sprint out through mid. It looked like Luminosity really wanted to take these aggressive positions. They even swung out into Sunroom rapidly and into A main. Luckily, though, Nifty's able to escape, and suddenly it's turned right back around. JDM will dial in a shot on Bolts and peel him off the Sunroom, so that's at least some B-side control as well for the CTs. JDM's gone on this hyper-aggressive move again. It's dangerous. It's risky, but it pays off again. Great headshot against Lucas. He is splayed out. The bomb will be recovered by Nekaz, and I doubt he would want to challenge JDM on this side.
Ooh, Steel timing that perfectly, actually catching Fugly off as Fugly was trying to Molotov that squeaky door. Molotov coming into sight as well from the MV side as Henny jumping on top of that forklift, able to take down one. A good amount of damage being done onto Sam as well as he attempts to sneak into the site. Hiding in this smoke now. Can Steel catch him off, or will Nekaz now be caught planting? And he is!
He got him. I thought Envy just needed to slow it down, but it's a 1v2. JDM is bouncing off of the B site with an AWP of all weapons. The thing is, though, the bomb's not planted yet, and he's going to have some information now that one T player was likely at default buried in, but now as some flashbangs come out, they might have the confidence to escape that position. JDM seems to just want to find a player in A main when in fact Luminosity are pinned in. Still default, still quad, and what a difficult weapon to be able to do this from. So yes, he swaps over to the M4, can't quite get Steel out of it. Henny survives at 3 HP as well. He was the reserve man, and Luminosity are on a tear, stopping Envy dead in their tracks. 2 rounds in a row, 2 rounds right back to Luminosity.
That was a 5v3 that Luminosity just won, basically based off of the entry that Steel was able to get onto Fugly in the site. That whole control goes in his favor. Then Henny gets on top of that forklift twice in 1 round, able to pick off 2 people from that position. Luminosity, really, that was a hard round for them to win, not being given much by the MV side, but taking it all when it was provided. That's the first shot from JDM, actually gets the shot and jumps at the same time. And then he ends up getting a second shot right here later on, and right there, we're into a 5-on-3. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for Envy to secure the round.
It does seem like Envy should have won that round, but the only way that they're finding any success is aggression from JDM so far. Whether that's through B main, which we've seen twice so far, and they've managed to pick up 2 rounds, but that time it just doesn't end up falling to into their cards. So that's a tough spot. If Envy want to continue to win rounds, if you have to play aggressive with an op to be able to pull that off, it's just way too risky. You can't really maintain that kind of economy because eventually he'll lose that fight.
Okay, to begin the round, Luminosity with a little bit of fake over towards that B bomb site. You do see Bolts just doing a complete nade dump. The rest of the Luminosity side just holding patiently, looking for any overextension from the MV members that will allow them a free kill into this round. And it doesn't look like Envy will be providing that. Sam is in a great position here if Luminosity do get a little bit sloppy towards middle. He's already aggressed right up beside the big garage entrance. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. Bolts now and Lucas opening up that B bomb site. Android gets 1, but that's about it as Bolts does find his second of the round on Android.
Yeah, Sam even gets tagged through the wall there from the AK spray. And I don't see too many opportunities of Envy being able to grab this round. Still, that weapon does reside over there towards the B side, I believe, to be recovered. And Nifty's very near that, but he's peeking out through the checker side. Great shot. Ouch. Bolts is receiving into that USP shot. And Sam is just above there in the vents still. Just delaying the round, delaying the inevitable.
Well, he's got that armor, right, as well as a 5.7, so why rush the issue?
Penalty, delay a game.
He might as well save the 5.7 and see what happens at the next round, but Neck is now taking him down. That will be Sam falling and Luminosity onto their 7th round here, Dallas, as we're in the final map of this BO3 series. Why don't you let our viewers know, who just tuned in, the implications of this match?
All right, it actually ended up being a really unique situation. In the group stages, there's 3 teams that are stacked up with the potential of Luminosity winning this game. It would be 3 teams that are at 2-1 through the groups. 3 teams. That means like when it comes to the tie-breaking scenario of head-to-head, Luminosity, if they win this, would catapult to first place. However, if Luminosity lose this against Envy, last place, relegated.
It's
so
crazy.
you're either you've booked a trip to France, Occitanie, or you've booked a trip home and in towards relegation. That's super scary. Envy on the other side of it, it's not as a dramatic swing. So far they're sitting 0-2. If they were to pick up a win here against Luminosity, they get 3rd place and stay alive in that 2nd series through the group stages.
Exactly. Like Mr. Bobby did say to his son all those years ago, if you're not first, you're last.
That's right. So this
Right.
is a 7-2 offsuit. It's looking pretty good so far for Luminosity in this. Envy have not been wildly successful. They've only had 2 rounds, and they may have even been on the back end of a double op play, which they're actually not wielding right now. JDM's op is over towards the A site right now, and Fugly instead will carry where that JDM success was in checkers with an M4. He gets just absolutely broadsided by Lucas. Didn't expect the T's to be out through mid already, and really so, considering somebody from Envy should have been responsible for that. But instead he slips in the lines, and it's a 3-for-3 right now. The bomb needs to be recovered and will soon be picked up, pushed past the generator, and planted in a heartbeat.
This is actually massive from Bolts on this dirty lurk right now as Nifty comes around towards the buckets area. Bolts should be able to take him down. He sees it, able to do quite a bit of damage, but not able to pick up the frag. That is going to push Nifty back, and I do imagine the rest of his team not being able to find anything just yet. You might see a save.
Yeah, it's a good grenade in here. You got some fight up on the front line, so you have it all split up into 2 different fights. Psalm, though, is on the site. He's touched the bomb the first time, but he now knows there's one in behind B main, which is currently smoked off. He's got that kill. He now knows that it's coming out of the vents, and Bolts might just dry peek this one, expecting him to be already on the bomb. Did damage. Bolts now at low HP. We've seen this story play out before, where it was it would have been no kit defuse, and I think somebody from Luminosity just never came and peeked that bomb. They ended up winning the round. So that's the case again. It just delays the peek, counts it out. Even if he has a kit, I'm going to wait till 3 seconds, take the shot. Luminosity pick up that round. There are no survivors.
Oh, and looking at the Envy money now, pistols, armor, that's what they're going to be coming in with. Luminosity, that was a very scary round just because of the retake being so strong from Envy, being able to smoke off checkers, being able to smoke off B main. Som gets into the site. If he had actually stuck the bomb right from the get-go,
right,
it would have been a round defuse and Envy picking it up. Unfortunately, he goes for the fake, and in that time, Luminosity just burning down the clock, and we're going to see Envy come out with a very fast aggression towards Banana.
And mid. They're in there in mid.
Ooh.
Fugly's got the first kill. Bolts is going to turn back to fight this in garage, but now he's surrounded. 3 players in front. He's got the first 2.
Wow.
Both headshots. Steel finds a kill on the A site, and the bomb will follow in pursuit towards that A site. Steel finding Fugly. Easy peasy. Headshots for everyone. JDM's last man up, and to be last man down shortly.
JDM might save here.
Plant.
He might even recover this AK. We'll have to see in the moment. But he is spotted by Bolts. Bolts, will he be able to find his third? No. JDM, a great shot there to take down Bolts. Neck is now taking the fight onto JDM as JDM just patiently waiting. But he too shall fall. 9-2 is our scoreline here, Dallas. And Envy looking like this hill is a little too steep for them to climb.
Yeah, it's looking a lot like Train. I mean, this is with the sides you started on. Envy was on the CT side to start Train, Luminosity T side. Of course, this map not nearly as CT sided as that, but Luminosity are just replicating that success again and again. And if it ends up being the same scoreline, which was what, 14-1 in that first half, you end up with something that's similar to that, like a 13-2, it's going to be the same story, same result, same novella.
Okay, Luminosity moving very quickly towards A main. That paw flash actually dropping JDM. JDM with a great shot to start off on Neck is now 5v4 advantage in the way of Envy. Is this what they needed to get this round?
Ooh, Nifty just took a licking out there too. He's at the backside of checkers, so with that smoke that's still there, he'll be able to fall back in towards the site safely so, but he's got to be worried as well. If he's on site, a Molotov could just drop down at any moment and end him, or an HE. So he ends up in a more defensive position, way back towards tree, now into heaven, which is just, I believe, a smart move.
A little bit of aggression towards A main as Android trying to get a little bit of info for his team. Able to take down 1, so he's going to keep the man advantage for the Envy side. But as Som goes down towards the fence now, mid is opened up for Luminosity. We're going to see the split between the A players and the B players as Luminosity look to be bringing that bombs over to the B bomb site.
Yeah, Fugly's actually made the right move now. He's gone into mid, but really it's going to come up to individual effort. And Fugly, it's not going to be his effort. Over on this B site alone is that 3 HP Nifty, and that Molotov scattered out about him, just not quite there. Yeah, it is. It is quite there. It just barely spreads, and as soon as he thinks about jumping up to the ledge, he is down and out. Envy now looking to drop this round again, double digits shortly for Luminosity.
Yeah, it did look like Envy were on their way to winning that round, but as soon as Som fell in that vent area, that opens up just a whole world of options for the Luminosity side. The ability to split onto A, the ability to move onto B, and that becomes such a problem for Nifty, who is so low in that B bomb site that really he had to worry about so many spots while the nades are coming in, and he backs up into a Molotov and just burns, baby, burns.
Yeah, that's such low HP. It's just difficult to maneuver. JDM will defend his honor, and yeah, well, he's able to at least duck and cover enough so that he's able to pick up his AWP again, or at least chamber another round, and another body. Luminosity have plenty of cash to be able to afford this hunt. JDM quick on that one. A little bit of bounce around the corner, but still at the end of the day, it's 10 rounds to 2, and there shouldn't be too much of a problem. Even if Luminosity lose all that money at the end of the round, they're fine.
So in that first series where we saw on Train, right, Envy taking that map off Luminosity, a great win for the Envy side. Steel was actually, I believe, 7-21.
Yeah, super quiet.
Now moving on to the final map of the series, Steel is sitting on 17-5, Dallas. A complete turnaround in the culture of that team. You're seeing Luminosity come alive now towards the latter part of this series, first taking Inferno. And now as we move on to Cash, it's looking like they can't be stopped.
Yeah, it really does look like they can't be stopped right now. If Steel's popping off, you can't lose. And it's really the same story on the other side. If JDM's doing incredibly well, which he is doing moderate, he's 12-10. He's actually leading the team right now, but it's sometimes being alone is not enough, being the one standout player.
Yep. Okay, as freeze time comes undone, Envy gonna take another crack at it here, giving it the old college try to get a couple rounds on the board. And it does look like to begin, we will see Envy with a very heavy ace stack, and actually JDM getting right in front of that squeaky door, most likely getting ready to aggress.
Oh, this would be a disaster being this close. If you die that fast, Fugly got one. He's traded out. That's not going to be enough, but it might be a bait. Android's in checkers. That's a surprise. He's trying to convert. He's got the second player. Can he find Steel, who was the first? He does. Android coming alive when it's absolutely necessary. Henny, though, will usurp him, and it's a 2-2 right now. The bomb's still towards the site. There's a massive gap in the tree smoke, so Henny is nervous. They'll use a little bit more utility to come across safely, but it gives Nifty time to get out of heaven and get Nekiz. It's just Henny left. He knows both players are above him right now. There's the first, transferring towards the second, trying to fire through the floor. It's just a dream that it's down to these two players, but it's Henny that wins that fight 11-2. As soon as it looks like Envy have a great chance to win a round, they get caught up there in the heaven balcony and the heaven catwalk, and there's just nowhere to go if they're directly underneath you.
Yeah, pretty much Luminosity were in great positions there. There was an opportunity really for them to catch the Envy players off early on, but Nifty makes it very difficult by taking down that checkers player, throws it into a 1v1, and there you see Henny finish it up with that 1v2 clutch. Luminosity, another great round on the board. Really, Android keeping his team in there, allowing the rotations to even have an opportunity.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Android almost saved the day there. But now you're looking into some desperate stance. It's a really bad spot for Envy. They've just lost Som to start off this round. The A site is open for business, but of course that's information that only the viewers at home and us are privy to. And if Luminosity were to scout this out, which they have players in the neighborhood, it would be a pretty quick save for Envy because they just don't have enough going into the last part of this half.
Fugly taking a little bit of contact towards the B area against Bolts, doing quite a bit of damage. As Som has fallen, we're seeing Envy react by playing a heavy B setup, and Fugly will even it up, taking quite a bit of damage, however. It does look like Luminosity moving out onto A will get it uncontested. They've got to pick up this bomb, though, Dallas, and actually get it into the site.
Well, that's the thing. Every time it looks like Envy are in a good spot, suddenly Luminosity just managed to eke it out. They're just way better in that late-game clutch situation. So it's 3 for 3 right now. Fugly's barely hanging on at 7 HP, and the bomb's showing up just a shade late. Coming in through A main, it's been spotted in tow, so there's going to be a chance for Envy to get in here. Nekin's got that first shot, so now you've got an opportunity to plant a little bit safer, but does that force Envy to pursue and over-pursue? A smoke for truck side. That'll allow Android to actually get over here towards the fork truck, and he's taking the fight, but Steel wins that one, and Fugly at 7 HP can't speak anything about it. 12-2.
Good idea from Fugly to get out of dodge and save that weapon. Luminosity now, like you just mentioned, moving on 12-2, and it was a really bold decision from there. They move out onto A without any smokes, essentially just drying out into that site. All of the MV players, however, not really contesting that portion of the map. Luminosity are able to sneak into the site, get pretty much full control, and then they start popping off against those MV players. Right now, Fugly gets spotted. Is he going to be able to save this weapon?
They'll hunt him to the end of the world at this point. They've got money to spare as well at the end of the round. Can they catch him in time? It does not appear so. That will be a little bit of a blessing for Envy moving into the last round. An AK is a welcome sight. It looks like it's just going to be FAMAS's and UMPs probably into this last round. I see one AUG getting picked up. That may have even been donated to Som because he's got head armor in there as well.
Yeah, Fugly, because he saved that AK, came out of the round with 4K, so he's actually going to drop that AUG over. And we got 4 rifles on the field. It's looking good, Dal. It's looking good.
All right. You need more than this, though. You need more than this. Envy haven't had that off play for quite some time, it feels like. And so thereby JDM has been relatively silent, still sitting at 12 kills. He hasn't gotten a kill in quite some time. Henny finds one and the next just on target. Same with Steel out there. And when it rains, it pours. The A site is valuable and open for business. Luminosity will end up taking this last round of this half, almost guaranteed. No kits in play for Android or JDM. They hoped to have gotten that done on the front lines, but very fast rounds from Luminosity prevent that.
I like the idea from Envy there in that situation to get aggressive towards A main, but not throw a pop flash for themselves. The unfortunate part is Henny has just been forcing that A main issue every single time. As Lucas now takes down JDM Android, he's the final member alive in a 1v4. I don't think he's got too much going on for himself. There you go. But yeah, in that situation, Henny getting very aggressive towards A main every single round, and he's going to punish the MV side as he just picks up 2 easy kills. The first one on the edge of the smoke, then spraying through the smoke. And Luminosity end this half 13-2, Dallas.
Yeah, it's looking a lot like it did on Train, if I'm not mistaken. 14-1 was that first half. We've got a lot, maybe a little bit more action left for this one for Luminosity to just close it out just like they did on Train.
Anyways, though, folks, if you stay tuned, we will be back momentarily with the second half. Luminosity versus Envy for map 3.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. These are the stats for that first half on Cash. It's been a bit of a devastating stance for Envy. They just haven't been able to pick up all the frags they desperately need. As a matter of fact, JDM, who was leading the team early on in that first quarter of that half, just laid flat after Envy just ran out of money.
Yeah, and on the other side for Luminosity, Steel having a phenomenal game, sitting at 20-6 right now for his side. Nifty going down towards middle very early on. That's going to be the bomb down as well, so a lot of information being given to the Luminosity team as Lucas now pushed up by these B boxes.
Oh,
will he be able to catch anybody? One, not the second though. Fugly takes him down.
Yeah, but look at the rotations coming in. It's 2 for 2 from that point, but you're still a man ahead. Neck is pushing, and he's catched one. Unbelievable. JDM, I think, was in the process of reloading. And Fugly is last up, disconnected from the bomb. He's in full retreat to try and separate himself from Luminosity so he can at least get a second look at this. The P250 can reach out and end these guys. Look how wounded they are at this point, but Fugly needs to come up massive. This pistol round is required for Envy to be able to come back into this game.
Fugly on his last magazine now in that P250. Only 12 bullets to make this dream happen. It's possible. The Luminosity players are very, very low in this situation. So if Fugly can hit the first couple shots, maybe trade that weapon out for a Glock or USP, he could get Envy their third round.
I bet he gets one tapped.
Okay, I'll take that bet.
11 bullets left, and nobody's giving him the look. They're not even giving him the time of day. Flash in. He wants to make use of that. Wow. Surprising shot. And yeah, he does get one tap back by Neck. As you were talking, you made that stat.
All right, I owe you dinner. Okay, that's
man,
fair.
That's a big
that's
deal.
Fair.
Well, you said, you gave me the stat. You're like, yeah, most pistol rounds are 70% headshot rates.
There you go.
Ooh,
Headshot, yeah. Quick maths. Anyways, though, looking back at the match now, Luminosity on 14 rounds. Envy, they aren't going to be buying up into this round, so Luminosity will be securing that overtime point here. Envy, they've got their work cut out for them then, moving into that first gun round. 13 rounds in a row is what they're going to need, Dallas, to tie this one up.
Yeah. I'm going to say they get 5 in a row.
And then they fall?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm going to say...
Am I betting a second dinner here?
No, I'm going to say it's a 5 in a row, and then they get 7 in a row to tie the game up. Lucas is pursuant of a couple of T's, but it was merely baited. And Steel actually, oh, there's a surprise. Som was probably caught off guard out there as well, thinking that nobody would push that in their right mind. So you've pulled it back on a little bit of aggression, and I really thought Steel would never have won that.
Ooh, Steel bouncing a nade out towards that A main, able to take down Nifty as Bolt's finding 2 on the round as well, and the third onto Android. Luminosity have secured at least overtime as Envy attempts to make this comeback a possibility.
Yeah, that's a stretch. I thought maybe they could do 5 in a row and then 7 in a row, but nah, I don't think so. This is way too much. That's asking a lot. Envy, though, will be able to buy up AKs here and try and decide their fate.
Okay, Envy on the cusp of being eliminated from, well, contention for that playoff spot in the Pro League. Looking to battle back with these AKs. I just mentioned it again, this uphill battle of 13 rounds in a row. They are going to begin this round with just a slow default, not wanting to give up too many easy picks. And we will see the Shroud boost by Luminosity as Bolts.
I really appreciate the Negev purchase from Lucas.
What? Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice that.
What? You didn't hear him rattle off the first 60 bullets?
No. Oh my goodness.
Laser beaming it out there, going for the suppressing fire.
That's also
Lucas.
like a mental game, because now on the Envy side, you're sitting there like, did they really buy a Negev? They're that confident in this round? Really?
Suppressing fire. I want to see it happen, so I want to see Envy just walk into the line.
Okay.
Well, didn't we see it? We saw the 5 ops earlier today, but that was on Dust. No, that wasn't on Dust.
That was on Train
right.
with MIBR, and then Phelps steals the bomb to clutch out that round. That was that. That was how wild of a round that was.
That's the only time you ever see 5 ops is on Dust 2, and my brain had replaced that information. Like, there's no way that happened on Train. So here we go. We're going to be setting up for an A execute. Your defense is Bolts anti-flash right now in the Shroud boost. Bolts needs to come up massive. So far, nobody's peeked his angle. Nobody's looking at the top side. Now they do. They'll double peek at him. Nifty is there, and they double look a bit too much back towards Shroud boost. Now Luminosity have themselves the man advantage. Lucas should just be lining up this shot through. There's no reason not to stop shooting through that truck smoke. Now they push in, trying to struggle to plant the bomb. You've knocked out the Negev. Now you've gotten rid of the excess weight. Henny's in a 1v2. He's at Squeaky. You would never expect him to come through here so quickly. He might be able to catch the bomb planter as he comes off of default instantly. He knows he's still tucked in, and he's got the first. Now looking back, he knows exactly where Fugly is. Can Fugly escape? He does. He's able to get around the red box. Can he get around the gray box as well? He gets caught down, and he turns for the fight, barely staying alive. Envy at 3 now to 15. A long road still, and it will continue to be a long road, and I don't think Luminosity will even start to sweat until Envy hit double digits.
Yeah, Luminosity plenty of rounds to play with in this situation, so they're going to force up into this round here. No real problem out of them for this round. Envy, on the other hand, well, they've got to not make mistakes. We got to see perfect CS. We got to see them hitting all their shots if they want to make this comeback. 12 rounds to make this happen.
All right. Luminosity are going to play a little bit aggressive here. They got the Molotov in the boost position. Nekiz now parks himself just at the threshold of the garage door, swapping sides as well, looking for that boost up to be able to topple him. Fugly's up there. Nekiz, did he just jump? He just jumped, and he's going to fake some information over there, but he gets caught in rotation. Doesn't expect Fugly to be up on top of the red box, watching his every step.
Even then, he could have asked for the re-smoke towards middle before actually crossing. He's going to smoke while he's going to cross while that smoke starts to fade, and that's really what gets him caught in that situation. Does look like Envy, however, off that pick, not pressuring middle too much here. Dallas taking it very slow in this situation. By the looks of it, we'll be pulling off that B bomb site and favoring A.
You see Envy is still a little nervous about that boost. They got that one player, but they heard that jump, and they're like, well, maybe somebody else is over there. So they hesitate, they stare at it for a while. Nobody shows up. Now they leak into A main, looking to expand on this site as long as they can get out through A main cleanly. So it does look like that shouldn't be too much of a problem. They've smoked off Bolts, who's at the truck, and now on site is Steel. Going on an aggressive peek. He's only able to pick up one, and it looks like it's an instant save as the players start to fall back. That armor is going to make more impact in the next round, most certainly.
Yeah, no reason to really force the issue and just go for it and needlessly die here in this situation, because Henny, well, he's got no nades. Lucas has no nades. Same with Bolts. They've got no kits whatsoever either, so they're just going to save right now and move into next round and hopefully find a little bit more success. Plenty of rounds to play with.
Sure, oh yeah. Oh, you got all the time in the world. The Luminosity would end up on max loss bonus sooner rather than later. And right now, it looks like saving the armor, saving the FAMAS, saving the Deagles is a success. Envy as well, they want to win rounds healthy. Because if you're winning rounds and you're just skirting rounds by, and 1 surviving, 2 surviving, eventually the Luminosity's loss bonus would be able to eclipse that of Envy's economy, and then suddenly the advantage is turned right.
Okay, Luminosity should be moving on to a full save in this round as Steel and Nekiz don't have any money whatsoever. Luminosity with these 2 Deagles and this FAMAS on Bolts, I can imagine that they get very aggressive. And this is what I was talking about, getting caught just as that smoke was fading there across middle. I do imagine maybe he thought the smoke had a little bit more time, and then he just, when he first takes his step in front of that big garage, it starts to fade, and he's like, okay, Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, right, yeah. Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. Luminosity are preparing for a little bit longer run. They are stacking B entirely right now. Envy are scouting out this A site already, starting to peer around. It looks like Android's in the Squeaky side, not seeing anything, not hearing anything. And it's a matter of time, I think, before Envy end up peeking A main and realizing nobody's home. They should know that they have the full advantage on this round as well. 3 survived from Luminosity's last round, but shouldn't be more of an indication that there's no more than pistols or 1 rifle in there.
Luminosity was actually favoring a heavy B stack to start this round off, but now we're going to see 2 players towards middle, Nekiz as well as Lucas. Lucas playing a little bit of a bait setup here for his teammate, and it does look like Envy not really pressuring too much into A, so they actually don't know this is clear right now as Lucas rotates in towards that site. Wonder if the Envy players are going to go towards A or pull off and head towards B.
Well, if they head towards B, they'll run into the stack. Nifty gets that first kill.
They actually
That was a boost. Yeah, I was about to say, there's somebody in sight. And there it is.
Nice,
2 more kills for Nifty. Looking good. And now that he's got that, you can see everybody else from Envy just change directions, about face, and went right back towards B. There is one up in heaven with the neck is, but he is going to lay to rest up there, and in heaven he remains. Lucas, last man up, pistol armor. Next round's going to have rifles anywhere for Luminosity, so Lucas can sacrifice himself, look for some kind of frags, make some action happen.
All right, Lucas goes down. Nifty with the 4K on the round is Luminosity. Find themselves buying up into this in hopes to take down Envy's comeback. Envy, on the other hand, have strung 3 rounds together in a row. And are they able to do it, Dallas?
No.
No, you don't believe?
No, I'm not going to believe until Envy hit 10. Then I'll believe.
Oh, okay, so you're one of those late bloomers there, right?
Yeah, I mean...
You'll jump on the bandwagon when the wagon's rolling.
I'm going to believe it when I see it kind of guy. So, I mean, when I start seeing Envy get into double digits, then I'll believe that there's a chance for a retake or a comeback. So, Luminosity, with rifles, like I had said before, they've got all the utility they need. There's no Molotovs, but they got all the smokes to their heart's desire. Nekiz is pushed up into mid. He's underneath the vents right now, looking to the high side to counter the boost. And he is probably first up, first served. Envy are playing reserved right now. They're nervous. They really are, because they know that they need to win everything from here on out. So nobody wants to be that first guy that's benched for the round.
Okay. Envy now, as we're nearing the minute mark on the clock, haven't really taken control of too many areas. Remember, in the rounds they found success, they were getting very early picks on the Luminosity players. Luminosity right now are on a full passive play, and Envy, not poking, not prodding out, find themselves in a 5v5 with no mid control as Nifty gets taken down towards middle by Henny. The remaining members getting ready to execute on A.
Yep, they're about to come through, and you've got 2 players defending up, lined up against the fence. Double Molotov perfectly placed for them. Steel is burning. He's having to push forward, which Psalm will receive. Now Psalm thinks about going to the high end of this one. There's that smoke that you're talking about, how important it is. Bolts is blind, but he's got 2. Now it's all up to JDM. He needs to be an absolute hero to keep Envy alive. But the problem is you got a player still on highway. That's Henny.
Nice
what a shot from
shot.
JDM. Now he realizes he's stuck in a hard place. And Luminosity eventually do get it done at 16-5.
Yeah, very confident win out of Luminosity there on the final map. We saw some life out of the MV side towards the end of that, but it was already when Luminosity had 15 rounds.